Right, I don't have the power tools that I was borrowing from my friend, so right now I'm taking the time to slowly cut into this line that I drew across this entire thing. It's 1 inch across by a third of an inch, I believe, wide. This piece, I cut off a very large piece that was like $4. So I'm going to cut this into thirds because this height already is as tall as the box I have. I mean, it won't fit underneath the pickup I have. So I'm using this as a backing. It's going to go against the bottom of the box, and it's going to be glued onto the bottom of the neck, along with the little shiv. The little shiv is basically it's like this, and then it comes up a little bit, and then it goes down like a doorstop almost. So I'm going to cut this down into thirds. Hopefully one of the sides will fit underneath that pickup, and I'll be able to mount the neck or the bridge onto the other side of this. There'll be the shim and the neck on this side. Alright, so I'm doing a small experiment with this. As you can see, it's kind of warped these shims that I got. But I'm going to try and just glue them together and see if I can get them to work. Because when I tried to cut that long wooden board, when I tried to cut this, I ended up with this. It's really jagged. I'm not liking how that profile looks. I'll attempt it, but it's not my favorite. So this is my backup plan, just in case. I'll warp it in the water later. Alright, so current progress. I have taken that stick and I carved it down a little bit so that it's a little bit flatter than before. Not a perfect profile for sure. It was a little bit too long for what I cut, so I just carved that down as well. It's going to stick like this into the box. And what I'm going to do with it is put a shim. Where did it go? There's a piece of it here somewhere. So I took I'll find it later. What I'm going to do is I took the end of this shim, cut it down, and what it's going to do is it's going to stick up here, when I find it, that is, and through here. I'm going to move some of the wires away, like that. So it'll just stick through it that way. And it'll be against here, or through here against this. So this will be supporting most of the weight of the strings. So they divide the weight evenly across. Then I'm going to cut this in half, break that in half, layer that on top of this, and then I'm going to put this over here so that it's got some more space up here to place that on top of the or underneath the neck once it goes on in that little slot. Yeah, this thing's coming together. I just gotta figure out where to put the strings against. Maybe put like a metal pad against this thing, have it stick up a little bit, and then grab the strings. So I found it. This is the end of this piece over here. Took a little bit of cutting, and it's just gonna stick up in here. So the strings will be along that. You can look at kind of here how high it's gonna stick up. And that's going to just hold the strings up above the neck, or the pickup off of the neck ramp. Alright, so here is the finished product for the saddle, or semi-finished. I need to do some finishing work because that is uneven. Right there, you can kind of see it there. And so it's going to sit flush here. It's not quite flush on these sides, but it's going to do its job at least. I wanted it about that tall. And it'll just sit against here, or down here, and in here as the saddle. Right, so here's the shim before I glue it together, and I broke it apart, and I'm going to stick it like this. And here it is after. So it's going to be glued like that. I'm going to take the two shims there on top and it off, and it's going to go into that little slot there. Alright, so this experiment was a little bit too much, so I decided to just do this instead from this little piece. Those shims are turning to be really handy. I'm just going to stick that in here, like that. I had to cut it a little bit because the screw here with this full length was running too far into it. Yeah, I'm just gonna glue that in place as soon as I've measured out the final height for the bridge, or the saddle. I'll have to make a bridge later. I've taken out the cross beam here, the support beam, and I've just glued it on here. I'm gonna put some extra support glue here on the sides, and then since that's there, like that's gonna get glued on a little better up there. Once I decide on the action up here, that's gonna take a lot of cutting right there. Damn bridge. Alright, so I measured between here, using this ruler as a straight edge, and here, in order to get my length for how far I'm able to cut this. And now I gotta measure the center here more confidently than just, oh yeah, let's just put the ruler on there. And for that, I have sewing rulers somewhere around here. Alright, the hole for the saddle is cut. Slots in perfectly. We're good. Alright, so this is what I've done so far. On the inside of there, underneath the shim to hold it down. You can kind of see it down there, the bar. You can see the edge of it there. As I open this up, this has been drying for the whole day. Should be good to take out. Use an eraser on the bottom and then the shim on the top to make sure that it didn't dent the wood on either end. So I'm going to open this up. And now that's glued on. Right there. Will not move. And we got, hopefully, a functional fretboard. Next I gotta get the camera in focus, figure out what I'm gonna do for a saddle, or not for a saddle, for a bridge, and then get a fret board or a nut up there at least, and it's pretty close. And I gotta get tuners as well.